With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes. Now available in... Ooh, crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox. Clean feels good.
Say hello to the all-new Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do so much more for you. Need tickets to see your favorite artist? Craving your comfort restaurant? Just sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. It learns your style, anticipates what's next, and makes it happen across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
Did you get any snow today?
I did not. I got, I think, a bunch of sleet.
We didn't even get sleet, just some rain.
Some rain. You know, maybe it wasn't even sleet. Maybe I was hoping it was sleet. Go on.
What?
It looked like you were gearing up for a question. I saw you.
No. I was actually pulling my sleeves down because I just turned off the heat in the house.
Now, when there is snow,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead. No, it doesn't matter.
When there's snow on the forecast and instead you get sleet or rain, are you upset? Are you disappointed?
Pissed. Pissed. I was so cranky today. Like, okay, so I planned my day thinking like, oh, I'm probably going to have to work from home because the forecast was like 100%, 9 a.m., big fat snowstorm. It's going to be snow. So I was like, okay, I should work from home because these kids are going to school, but then they're going to have to come home early because they're going to do an early dismissal because West Orange is like so hilly. And so I was like, okay. And guess what?
What?
No snow, just rain. You know how upsetting it is when the icon changes from snowflakes to rain? And then it's like not even like nice rain. It's like windy and cold. Ugh.
Uh-huh.
The worst.
Sorry, I just thought of your weather app having that voice. 9 a.m. You should have an AI app that tells you about the weather that way. Well, was supposed to be sunny, but I guess it's not.
So stupid. And then I had to take out my big fat jacket. I had to take it. It was time to take out the North Face today.
Ooh.
I was trying to get by with just like blazers and sweaters,
Yeah.
blazer sweaters, boots. And today,
Yeah.
it was time to take out the big fat puffy coat.
You couldn't share Horowitz it. You had to put on a big fat
ugly coat.
Yeah.
And you can never not feel like the kid in A Christmas Story when you put on a big fat coat, puffy coat.
Do you go running into things? I run into things all the time when I'm wearing my big coat.
No,
so
I
fun.
don't run into things. But like the worst is, so I do a lot of video chats with my friends when we're like driving. No, always hands free. Okay, I'm not on the phone. But when you get your face, okay, first of all, you're wearing a zipped up big giant coat and you're sitting, already unattractive.
Yeah.
Then you get your front facing camera view of yourself just like stuffed in it.
Right up your nose. Yeah.
Right. It's just, oh God, I feel disgusting. So you know what? I'm mad at the weather today. Because if it was snow, at least I'd be like, oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even pretty. It's just stupid rain.
I guess you have to put on your big fat coat.
This is so stupid.
Uh,
Anyway, it's December.
Indeed it is.
Can you believe it? Now, you said in a chat that you thought
Mhm.
this year sucked.
I thought 2025 was a bummer overall, I would say.
Oh, okay.
I had a lot of plans for 2025. I was looking forward to 2025 when 2025 started. Obviously, you and I are big fans of this administration, so we were ready to go as soon as January 20th kicked in. No, I just think I think I had a bunch of plans for 2025, and it's not that they've been canceled; it's that they've been postponed. I would say more so than anything else. It just feel like overall, it just felt like a bummer year, like a nothing year. Like, what was the big thing about 2025? I don't like what is the thing that you're gonna remember?
No, we were just going through it. I think that we were
just surviving.
just trying to survive. I think that's what we were doing. We were like,
Mhm.
I guess we're just going to try to live through these unprecedented times.
I think
The
that's
times have been unseasonably unprecedented. Like, we're used to them being unprecedented because we like survived through COVID. But this year just feels like, is it ever going to be precedented again?
Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like 2016 to 2020, which is when it felt like unprecedented times last time, which was also around the time. I mean, a lot of this obviously has to do with Trump being in office, and with Trump being in office, like the freedom that's given people to just be the worst versions of themselves, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we see a lot of that kind of well, I'll be honest, I don't know if I see a lot of that in public. I know I see a lot of videos of that in public. Like, I see way more videos of people just being openly hostile and racist now, and things like that. So I think that's kind of in the general sense. But I think everyone's just down and worried, and there's this anxiety about like where everything is gonna go. If you talk to people that work in like corporate America or whatever, there's this underlying thing about like AI. Everybody's like all excited about it, but then they're also worried about like they're gonna lose their jobs or whatever. And everyone is just unhappy with all of the material things that they have. Like, everybody has access to a lot of great material shit, and nobody's fucking happy.
No one is. Oh my God, that's such a good point. Now, I was going to say I did like the year 2025.
Yeah, because you were away for, every
I made the best of it. By the way, you're like, oh, you were away. I went on 4 trips.
Oh.
It's not that big of a deal.
I know. I like to give you a hard time. Jeez.
Yeah. You're razzing me. I turned 40. I was very happy with turning 40. And I am going to say something nice before I talk about how shitty everything is. I turned 40 and I was really surprised that I was like, oh, I'm really glad that I did not imagine myself having the life that I have at 40. I don't think that I didn't know what 40 was going to look like, but I didn't think it was going to be this much fun or like this much control. Like, I didn't know that I would have this much control on my life at 40, you know?
Now, do you mean that in a financial sense, or like in like an emotional sense overall?
Just like overall, like the friends that I have, the opportunities that I have, the privilege that I have, my kids, I really like them. It turns out.
Cool people. They're good
They're
people.
really cool little people. I like where I live. I feel like I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm having a decent amount of fun.
Yeah.
So, you're saying like people have access to so many things, but they're still so unhappy. I don't think that I'm unhappy because of that. I think I'm just like generally depressed all the time, which is why I take Prozac. But that's different than like targeted calendar year unhappiness,
Hey, this depression is not year related. This depression is just me, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Like, hello, Raheel. We saw Beyonce this year.
That was this year? That's
That
so
was this
crazy.
year.
It feels like 3 years ago. That's insane. That was like
So
6
that's
months ago.
why you don't like this year, because I think that you feel like all the good things happened eons ago, but they didn't. They also happened just 6 months ago.
No, I mean, good things happen every day, right? Like I'm a very positive person. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. But I think I am able to appreciate when good things happen in life, right? I think just overall this year though, kind of like the direction where everything is going. I think it may be more culturally than anything else that's got me down in the dumps. Like I feel pretty okay with like where I am in the world, obviously. Like I think I'd like to do more things. I'd like to have the ability to do more things in 2026.
Hey,
And
you know what? I've got to tell you something. People are dying to meet you.
we should. So I think if we go to a truck stop and if we set up a glory hole,
If
I will be
anybody,
the
if
I will
anybody
be the one
wants,
inside the glory hole.
I think if anybody wants to meet Raheel at a Sheets anywhere between New Jersey to Virginia.
Harrisburg. No, Harrisburg.
Harrisburg.
I'm not going south. Yeah. I'm gonna go to
Okay, yeah,
Pennsylvania.
yeah. If you want to park out at a Sheets, he'll have a chat with you over some fried cheese curds.
That's right.
I do think that you should be doing more. I think that you did a lot last year, I feel like, and then this year, I know why you're about you've been doing a lot of work. You work all the time.
I kind of love my work though, so I think it's even that is okay. Like I'm happy.
So what the fuck is your problem? How about that?
It's been a bad year. I think 2025 overall has sucked. It has sucked for society, for humanity.
It's not our finest time.
It's not our finest hour.
As a people, not our finest time. Things have been
species. Yeah.
As a species, it's not great. But I still think that the resilience of the human spirit or whatever has really outshined.
As you were saying that, it looks like you were doing a jerk off motion. The resilience of the human spirit or whatever.
Exclusive. This is not a jerk off movement. I want to know what kind of jerking off you think this is. This is, if anything, shaking my fist passionately for kids to get off my lawn. Okay.
Whoa, why don't you come to a Sheets anywhere between New Jersey and Harrisburg, and I'll show you what kind of jerk off movement.
Anyway, you said people are getting real racist out on these streets. I do want to touch back on that. But before we get into it, I wanted to ask you for some advice. So turkey season just passed. Thanksgiving just passed. A story has gone viral on TikTok that I wanted to share with you. It's, first of all, I wanted to ask Raheel, what are your thoughts about pranks?
I'll tell you this. Here's how I feel about pranks, right? This is going to be long-winded. And
okay. Let me just take a seat.
I want to say when I was growing up, when I was in high school, every kid in my high school got their comedic timing and their sense of comedy from Chandler Bing on Friends. Everybody was doing a version of Chandler Bing. Everybody was sarcastic and everybody was fun. I feel like the generation after us, the ones that were in high school in the early 2000s to like mid 2010s, got their sense of comedy from Jim from The Office.
Okay, sure.
And all Jim did on The Office was he did these stupid pranks on Dwight, and then he stared at the camera. And now all these assholes on YouTube think that it's the height of comedy is just to pull pranks on people, and it's just mean sometimes. I know I sound like an old person. Like I'll watch a prank video, like because they come up on the YouTube Shorts or whatever. If you make me watch a stupid prank video, you better have the end where you point out the camera and the person who is being pranked says, "Oh, okay, that was fine." I don't like all of this prank shit that I see. It's just people are just being mean and assholes online to other people. That's how I feel about pranks.
Okay, great. I love that because I'm very anti-prank. Don't trick me. There's enough going on in this world for us to be upset. Okay, Don't trick me. Don't fool me. Okay. Yeah. So there's this woman, there's this family posted this TikTok and it's going viral and people have a lot of feelings about it. Okay. They are, a woman posted this video being like, pranked my brother's fiance into thinking that our family does a 10K turkey trot every single year before Thanksgiving, like morning of Thanksgiving. And then they all line up. They put a stupid felt turkey on her head. And then they even have matching shirts on saying like Butler family turkey trot or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, say cheese. And then they're like, we're just kidding. There's no trot. There's no trot. We're just joking with you, right?
Okay. Yeah.
This girl's face. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But then when you look at this woman's face, you look at this woman's face, she's really upset because apparently the story is that this woman had been training for months because she really wanted to impress her fiance's family. She even went and spent money on really nice sneakers. And they put a stupid felt turkey on her head. And then they make her, and they're all laughing. They're all cackling around her. And then she starts crying. And then she's nervously laughing. And I was like, number one, what a corny prank. Okay. Number two, she didn't look like she was having fun.
We find Vecna, we end this once and for all, together.
On December 25th.
We have a plan. It's a bit insane. Everyone in?
He knows where we are. Watch out! Get ready for one last adventure.
We stay true to ourselves. Stay true to our friends, no matter the cost.
Found you. Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 2, begins December 25th, only on Netflix.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is the best thing ever. It's even better than pop music. You look just as natural enjoying us at age 13 as you do 55. Kraft Mac and Cheese, best thing ever.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
Swimsuit, passport, phone, with VPN activated.
VPN?
Cell phone service is going to be spotty on vacation, so we'll be using public Wi-Fi.
Sounds sketchy.
Exactly. The networks can leave your personal info, like credit card numbers, exposed to hackers.
McAfee's secure VPN lets you browse and bank safely from wherever, whenever. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Did you know that parents rank teaching financial literacy as the toughest life skill? That's where Greenlight comes in, the debit card and money app made for families. With Greenlight, you can send money quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and track spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn how to earn, save, and spend responsibly, while parents have peace of mind knowing smart money habits are being built. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
Okay. So now, are we sure that this is a real thing? Because that's the other thing.
So so this, it does look like very authentic because everybody's just like equally personality-less in the video, right?
Okay.
Like they look like a pretty regular family.
Yeah.
People on the internet are like, this is a humiliation ritual of this woman. And I think that brings me to a point about pranks in general. I think pranks are just meant to humiliate people. And I think we need to stop. And I don't like it.
So for the purposes of this prank, how many people were in on the prank? Which is
the whole family. So I'm going to say 10 people.
So like 10 people. So somebody had to go and make fake t-shirts for a fake turkey trot for everybody in the family, right? And then they put them all on. And then they just, I guess, said, hey, we're not going to run. That's the entire
So they all get together. They're posing for a picture. They say, cheese, happy Thanksgiving. Or they're like saying like happy turkey trot or something. And then they all turn and go, we're not running. There's actually no 10K. There's no 10K. And because they're all gearing up to go for the run. And then they tell her that there's actually no run. And so she's just kind of spacing out and looking at the floor. And she's like, what? And then the worst part of it is the fiance's head is right here. And he is cackling. He is cackling behind her head. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. They're like, welcome to the family. We're not making you run. Don't worry. There's no turkey trot. By the way, 10K miles, that's over 6 miles.
10K is over 6. Is it over 6 miles?
Yeah, it's over 6 miles because I think like a 5K is like over 3. So I'm going to assume it's,
whatever. It's like 5 miles.
My point is, look, do I think that the woman is like, now people are going too far? They're like, she's being abused. I'm like, let's not go crazy here. Now,
by the way, we don't have money to pay for healthcare in this country. Just FYI, we have real problems in the world.
Yeah, sure. So my thing is, if I was her, I would have taken my shoe off and beaten my fiance in front of everybody. I too would have been like, this video is not going on the fucking internet. Are you crazy? Because that's my other thing is like, now it's gone viral and this woman is standing there crying while her fiance cackles maniacally behind her. Right. I don't think that that's nice. Right. It's one thing to do a prank. You pranked your family member. It was a thing. But now you've made it a thing on the internet. Now her shame is being monetized probably by you. It's just like all of that is really bad. But going back to my original point, don't fucking prank people.
Pranks are stupid.
Pranks are stupid.
Now, has she been interviewed by Nightline or 2020 or Dateline?
Nightline.
Dan Rather out there on the front lines.
Imagine. Or like Gail Simmons exclusive, Gail whatever. Gail, is that her name? Not Gail Simmons. What's her name? Gail. Oprah's Gail.
Gail King.
Gail King exclusive. No, that's the other thing. Everybody's freaking out because it's been radio silence. Like this video went viral. Nobody's ever heard from the family again. And the girl is nowhere to be seen. I'm like, is she alive? Did she kill them all? Because I would have killed them all.
So overall, as a prank, it's pretty innocuous, right? Like, because she didn't have to do anything. Like I think a worse prank would be, although I'm sure she trained. That's the thing where and I think in her head, probably she got to a point she felt really good about her training, where she was like, oh, you know what? This is going to be a thing where I get to shine. That's what it sounds like to me. And then she found out that, hey, this is a thing that's not happening. So I think what she probably felt in that moment was just the fact that the rest of like these, and to her, these are still technically outsiders, right?
They're her in-laws.
She's the outsider in the situation, and she just feels like she's being singled out or whatever. That's probably the reaction that she was having. I don't know, man. Like, it seems like it's pretty innocent if you are the type of family that likes to prank people or whatever, or maybe this is like a good sign that she just knows, okay, these people are assholes and I don't want to hang out with them. Like maybe this is how she just stops being part of the family. I don't know.
I would hate for my in-laws to be making a plan to lie to me.
I guess, but I'm sure they were in their defense. I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Of course you are.
In their defense, like maybe this is just kind of how they
This
show
is how
love.
they do. They haze people into being part of the family.
Yeah. And again, they didn't make her do anything.
That's
I guess
true.
I don't know. Whatever she did on her own. I don't know.
If I was a fiance and I was seeing her like train every day because she was like, I really want to make sure I do well in this turkey trot. I'm really nervous and everything. And the fiance was like, yeah, you're doing a good job. And this motherfucker was texting his family being like, this idiot, like she's running every day. She thinks we're going to do it, guys. It's going to be so good. That is unacceptable. Pranks. Let's go into 2026 prank free, okay?
Prank free. I think as a form of entertainment, it is like the lowest common denominator. Like it's just the lowest form of entertainment. Oh, here you think I'm gonna say something to you, and then it turns out that it's not true. That's basically what a prank is. Right? That's all. It's just, hey, I'm gonna lie to you. And
I don't like it. I don't like it.
No. I think we're done with pranks.
We're done with pranks. Okay.
As your son would say, because I'm a young person, pranks are cooked, bro.
It's cooked. It's a chop.
It's cooked. It's a chop.
Okay. Okay. Going back to racist people. Did you hear? Are you familiar with a gentleman named BD Wong?
I believe if I'm thinking, I hope I'm not thinking of the wrong person. I believe that is an Asian actor who was if it's the person that I'm thinking of, he was in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And he was like the psychologist on SVU or Law and Order series.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's right. That's him. So BD Wong is really active on Threads, and he's very funny, and he's always like razzing like racist people. Like he'll always go in there and like if a person's being racist, he'll be like, "Well, you're an ugly, stupid idiot." Like, whatever. He's just trolling racists, right? Well, BD Wong, somebody posted Mike Holston, whose name is The Real Tarzan. He has 16 million Instagram followers, and he is a black man, and he posts pictures with like different kinds of animals and stuff. So he posted a picture of himself holding like an animal that I don't recognize. And he said, "Name this animal, wrong answers only." And BD Wong replied, "It appears to be a black man."
Oh no, BD.
So I woke up yesterday morning. I turned on my phone. I saw this and I went, and I just turned off Threads. I was like, I can't. It's like 6 a.m. I was like, I can't look at this. I can't believe BD just did this. BD, why would you do this, BD? BD, why would you do this? And then he deleted it. Okay. And then he said, well, before he deleted it, he said like, "Oh, I was just thinking about the worst, like wrong answers only. I was just thinking like this is the worst of the wrong answers." It's like, BD, why would you do that?
Don't try to justify it, BD.
So then he deleted it, and then he posted on Threads, "Y'all, I made a very bad joke, as most people do in hot water. I deleted it for damage control, but it's out there and continues to hurt and disappoint, and I'm really sorry about the hurt part, super dumb, but I tried to follow the wrong answers only prompt with the wrongest answer. This succeeded only in that it was super wrong. I know nobody gets a free pass. I'm sorry if this what the fuck BD moment tarnished any respect you've had for me, and thanks if you advocate for an internet that's safe for everybody."
Okay.
And then he said, "I want to elaborate on a racist comment I posted to clarify that I recognize and accept the responsibility for how terrible it is. It's also wrong to try to explain anything, and I think that causes a further breaking down in folks' trust. Let me please spend the energy on how wrong I know it is to exploit a despicable racist trope in the supposed spirit of humor. I do know better, but again, no excuses. Very sorry for the hurt I've caused and for taking lightly something so deeply injurious." Now, here's the thing, okay? You and I are not black people.
We're not?
But we are Asians.
Yeah, we are.
We're South Asians.
Yes.
BD is East Asian.
Yes.
Now, I think that what is really interesting coming out of this is all of the people that are responding to BD, liberal people, being like, "Yeah, we get it, BD. You made a mistake. Guys, be nice to him. Be nice to him." All of those people that are saying that to him are obviously not black people. Which made me say, hey, we don't get to accept that apology. It's not even for us. We were not affected by it at all. The most embarrassing part of this is the fact that BD Wong is a part of our community. And then now we have to watch somebody who's part of our community. He's also a gay man. Like, a person from another marginalized community to go and attack using one of the most like heinous white supremacist slurs there are about black people, that calling this man an animal, like, just did the worst thing. That's the part of it that we can say like, oh, God, I can't believe he fucking did this. But for us to be like, yeah, we accept your apology, everybody be nice, is crazy.
I think that's first of all, I mean, so when he made the comment, right, like I'm trying to think of like the humor part of it. And is there a non-racist version, or is there a non-racist humor part of it that you can think of? Because I can't, right? Like,
no.
I think like,
there's like nothing in that you go, this is funny.
Is not racist.
Yeah.
Like the racism is the humor part of it, right? Like unless I'm misunderstanding something.
No. I don't think we are. I don't think that there's anything in that is not racist.
But I don't know then. I mean, like, so again, hearing BD Wong made a racist joke in the last, I don't know, 90 seconds, I don't think it's going to ruin my day. I think it's just whatever. I think it's just one of those things that happens. I do agree that, you know, when you make a comment against any sort of marginalized people or community or whatever, it is not up to the people that aren't part of that community to comment whether or not that apology should be accepted, right? Like if as a result of this, a black person is just anti BD Wong forever, then
that's fine.
Then that's the price that you pay, I guess.
That's the price that BD pays for making a disgusting joke. Like, and then people are like, we need to have more grace. This is why the Democrats are where they are. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, no, this person did it. And by the way, BD Wong's gonna be fine. Do you think he's not gonna get any roles? People are like, you're canceling BD Wong. I don't know if we are. Actually, I don't know what that means. There's no such thing as cancellation anymore. We learned that there's a felon in the White House. Like, it really does matter.
I will not be paying my BD Wong invoice this month because I refuse to pay him. No, I don't know. I don't know, right? I do think that there is something in there about him being a gay man and an Asian man where you go, well, should we be more sympathetic to marginalized people that make mistakes, right? And the answer is no, right?
No.
I
think that you're right, where obviously I think like white people do things and then we're like, oh, like that's really bad. And then people in marginalized communities, like when I think Gina Rodriguez is her name, she used the N-word and like multiple times on like TikTok, right? Singing along to music.
Yeah.
And people were like, you can't do that. You're Latina. You cannot say that. That's crazy, right? And I think that there is this thing in like, and we know this, right? Certain marginalized people feel like certain communities, especially people of color, feel like they have the right to say certain words or make jokes about, specifically at the expense of Black people in private spaces. They really think that they can get away with it because they vote blue and they think like, oh, well, everybody makes fun of us. But the reality is that is not okay. Like for him to go on the internet and post that on a public like space, like that's nuts. But then it also goes to show that this is the kind of humor that is very prevalent. And we know this in the Asian, like anti-Black racism is a very common thing that is joked about, that is actually used in dangerous situations, but also is very commonly joked about in Asian communities. Especially South Asian communities. This is not uncommon for us to hear jokes like this. And I'm glad he's being called out on it. And I hope that people who are also making jokes like this can go, oh shit, let me fucking be careful and not speak this way because it's actually a big fucking problem. It's rooted in white supremacy. And also, my Asian ass would not be in this country if it was not for Black people fighting for us to have rights here.
I agree with you. I do think that you are being a little bit optimistic in terms of what people will learn from this because people aren't going to learn shit.
Yeah,
like
no.
And that's one of the things.
That's again you going back to how this year has sucked.
Yeah, no, and I think that that's one of the things that I've learned is like, hey, like I think everybody just kind of has to have that. If there's one thing that I've learned over like the last 5 years. Kind of talking a lot to brown men about kind of society at large and like racism and like how they think about racism and all those things also, right? Is everyone went along, everyone agreed that racism was a bad thing. I don't know, around like the 80s or 90s or something in this country. Everybody, racism officially became a bad thing. I think the America that you and I came into, which was 1995, we walked into an America that was where, we walked in with the idea that everybody in America is treated the same, right? At least by the letter of the law, that's how you're supposed to be treating people, and that being racist was accepted to be a bad thing. Like, you should
Mm-hmm.
not be racist in America. Like, being a racist means that you are on the outside. What I've learned in the last 5 years is, like, unless you kind of have an understanding, or unless you go through an internal journey to understand why racism is bad, you like the fact that it's been allowed to be out in the open now post Trump,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people, that's good enough. Like, that's just like, okay, like, oh, I can be racist now and it's okay, right? That's what a lot of people think now, which is just that, hey, it's okay. Like, I don't have to fall into this thing where I've been told that racism is bad and I can't make racist jokes or blah 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 blah. No, it's okay for me to be racist, right? It has to come from within. And so I don't know how people are going to react to this thing. They may look at BD Wong and they may say, well, I don't want the outcome. I don't want that to happen to me. But that still doesn't mean that they're, like, not going to be racist. They're still going to believe terrible things that they're going to
Yeah.
believe, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's hard to get people to change their mind about, like, that what you're essentially describing was being anti-racist, right? There's a difference between being not racist and being anti-racist. So that does require a lot more work. And I think that work is something that a lot of people, especially a lot of, like, the brown people that we know, are just like, oh God, who has the time? It's too much. There's too many things. First pronouns and now this. Like, it's too much for them. So yeah. Well, anyway, good luck to you, BD Wong. I'm sure you're gonna be just fine. Now, I put in the agenda today a term called bagnostic, which I just learned about, and I would love to share it with you. It's actually a term that our friend Nada, her husband Asad, shared, and I think it's a really cool term. It's a term used for celebrities who only speak up about things, like politically, if it benefits their brand. So as long as they can get the bag, they're into it. Otherwise, they're pretty bagnostic, right? Okay. It's so I bring this up because yesterday, Sabrina Carpenter's song Juno was used by the White House social media team, and they made a video. So Juno, I don't know if you've heard the song, but I'm sure you've seen the clips of her at her concerts being like, have you ever tried this one? And she, like, does, like, a sex position or whatever.
No, I have not seen these clips.
Okay. Little horny Sabrina Carpenter is the moment. Okay. She's the best. Anyway, so the song is called Juno. And so in it, like, she says, have you ever tried this one? And she does different positions. And so in the White House video, it's a bunch of fucking ICE agents arresting people. And every time they arrest a person, they say, have you tried this one? Have you tried this one? Have you tried this one? Right? So Sabrina Carpenter, being who she is, first of all, when I saw that, I was like, she better fucking say something, because I think they tried to use an Olivia Rodrigo song once. Olivia Rodrigo was like, absolutely not, shutting that fucking shit down. Shut the fuck up. You do not get to use my music to, push your terrible propaganda. So Sabrina Carpenter this morning, she saw it and she said, this video is evil and disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda. And then the White House spokesperson responded to her criticism by, like, they said something like, I don't know, hold on. They're basically, it's just some fucking, I don't know, 21-year-old that's, like, fighting with Sabrina Carpenter now on the internet. But he said, here's a short and sweet message for Sabrina Carpenter. We won't apologize for deporting dangerous criminals, illegal murderers, rapists, and pedophiles from our country. Anyone who would defend these 6 monsters must be stupid, or is it slow? Like, that's her lyric. And I'm like, you know what? Good on Sabrina for once, number one, speaking up and being like, you don't get to use my music. Mm-hmm. But also, two, we have to also remember that the White House social media, we have to remember that the president posted an AI video of flying a jet dropping shit on our heads, right? So
Yeah.
like, I think that that's like one part of it where like now the internet is a deeply unserious place, but I appreciate the fact that artists are being like, you don't get to use my art to post videos of this like disgusting, inhumane stuff. So I was like, Sabrina Carpenter, not bagnostic. Very happy for her. She is the moment. But what it did highlight for me is the fact that a certain other white blonde lady has had her music reused recently by the White House. And she has not said anything.
Taylor?
She has, Taylor Swift's. I think the White House used the fate of Ophelia and Father Figure as music to post over different Trump videos or whatever, like pro MAGA videos. And Taylor did not say anything, despite the fact that, as we know, Allison Swift is a deeply online person.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the reality that Taylor Swift is, I don't know if she's bagnostic anymore or if she is just, if she's part of the white supremacy problem in this country.
This episode is brought to you by eBay. Buying parts for your car? You'll know that will it work feeling. But on eBay, buying parts is different. eBay's free returns means if it doesn't fit or if it isn't what you expected, you just print a label, drop it off, and get your refund fast. No haggling, no stress, and at least 30 days to return any eligible item. Millions of parts, free returns. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about any of that, honestly. Like, I think if I am a record, I say that right before I go into a 5-minute diatribe. I don't know if I have anything to say, but here's what I think. No, I think if I'm an artist and my music gets shared or gets used by somebody that I don't want to use it, I fucking sue them. I think that's like the swiftest way to do it. Is it on Taylor Swift to go and find every person that is using her video or her music and take it down if it is something that she doesn't agree with? Obviously not in every situation. You can't hunt everybody down. But when it's the fucking White House, you can say something. You can say, hey, I don't want this. Like, I don't know how the fate of Ophelia was used. The video that you described of them using the Sabrina Carpenter song, that's just, I mean, it is heinous and disgusting, right? Like, we are talking about human beings. We're talking about like these ICE agents who are the worst of the worst. Like, they are like the scum of the earth, and like everything that has to do with everything that's going on over there. If you are anybody with any sense of morality that can look at the entire picture, you should be disgusted and horrified by it. So Sabrina Carpenter's response to that is appropriate. That's exactly what she should do, right? I don't know. I mean, do you want Taylor Swift to come out and say something against the White House? And what does that accomplish for you? Like, will you think more of Taylor Swift?
I will think more of her, because I think here's the thing. I recently had this conversation with somebody. We were talking about fake humble, right? Like people who are fake humble, that fake humility. And one of the reasons why I didn't like, it actually started from a discussion about Anne Hathaway and how people really hated Anne Hathaway in the 2000s, myself included, because she would do that fake humble thing when she won awards, right? It was a similar thing of why I didn't like Taylor Swift. Yes. That, me? Little old me? Right? And it's at some point, I think when you're a new artist, it's one thing to say that. But I think that when you are as talented, have you seen Anne Hathaway sing next to Kelly Clarkson? She has an amazing voice. She's amazing. Anne Hathaway has all of my respect now. I very much like her. But, the thing that I said about Taylor Swift is I don't like that about Taylor Swift, that she tries to play that fake humble thing.
Yeah.
And this person said, no, I actually think that she actually is humble. And I said, well, I don't think that you can be a billionaire and still remain humble. I don't think that that's possible. And I don't think that you should be. If you're a billionaire with that much power and you're such a badass businesswoman that you're able to like amass this huge following and make people feel like you are their best friend and you have that much power and control, like I think to be like, I'm just a girl who's just like making music about my boyfriend's dick, like I don't have any control over what's going on, guys, like leave me alone, I'm planning my wedding to the school janitor or whatever. Like I just like I don't like that. Like I don't be about it. Like if you're gonna make people, if you're gonna show up as like this, I have all this power and I have all this connection and I've amassed this huge fan base and everything, then you have to actually own the power that you have and actually use it for good. And that's the reality of being famous now. That is the reality of being famous, right? Like I will say Beyonce has not said a thing about Palestine, right? She hasn't. It's a big problem in my book. She's never said anything about Gaza, right?
She was also at dinner with Ivanka Trump and Jared.
she was at
the same table as them.
Right, like that is a problem. Of course that's a problem, right? And people could look at that and say Taylor Swift didn't go to dinner with the Trumps, right? Sure, that's fair, right? She's best friends with Brittany Mahomes, guys, please. But my point is that there are things that like Beyonce does that I do not agree with. I wish that Beyonce could use her space for more, but we went to her concert and her entire show was about like reclaiming what it means to be a Black person in America. She very much, all of her music is very much rooted in talking about injustices that have happened to Black people, right? So I can't sit here and say like she hasn't done enough or she's not trying enough or whatever. Could she do more? Of course, I believe that she could do more. But I know damn well if tomorrow Trump tried to use Beyonce's music and anything of hers, of his shit, or the White House did, I feel pretty confident to say that if not Beyonce, Tina Knowles would for sure be raising some sort of hell about it. You know what I mean? And so going back to your question, like if Taylor Swift was to say something, would that make me feel better? I mean, doesn't make a difference to me, but I do think that this woman, I feel like it's like a obvious like power or an obvious like positive thing that she could do that she's just not tapping into, which makes me not like her. It's it's the silence that makes her sort of complicit in everything that's going on, right? And I can't support that.
I think, it goes back to that cancellation conversation that we had a little bit ago, or I guess we continue to have, right? A cancellation doesn't, I know that people feel like, oh, it's unfair because everybody's turning on you, blah, 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 blah. As, we've had this term now in our lives for, I don't know, like the last 10 years is when people started getting canceled specifically because of like Twitter and all those things. And then Me Too happened and people got really, really like men got canceled, blah, 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 right? And I think the feeling at that point was just like, well, once you're canceled, then that's it. And so when people react to it, when they say, well, cancellations are unfair, it's because they say, well, you shouldn't limit a person's opportunity to earn off of their talent, blah, 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 blah. Cancellations really come down to the people, right? One of the, like, Louis C.K. is completely out there in the world now. He is completely out there as a working comedian, as a comedian that is respected in comedy circles by a lot of different people, right? And when they talk about his, kind of his actions or whatever, the way that they talk about it now is just like, oh, it was just a silly thing that happened. And like, hey, it's
just a silly thing. He just like took his dick out and masturbated in front of multiple women.
Yeah. And so if you actually think about it, if you think about how fucking weird and gross and disgusting it is for a man to take his dick out unannounced and start jerking off in front of you.
As a person who has lived in New York and has taken the subway and has unfortunately seen that many times, it's not great.
It's not great, right? And so, like, if you as a person can look at this person now and say, well, I know this is a person that has a history of taking his dick out and jerking off in front of people, and I still want to consume his entertainment, then it's up to you, right? And I think that's just kind of how cancellations work. Do I think that Taylor Swift is gonna get canceled
No.
for? She's not, right? And I
Mhm.
think given how big she is and given how, like, the number of people, like, she's an industry on her own, right?
Mhm.
Given the number of people that she probably employs and that are in her orbit, that are paid to watch every single facet of her life, from what she does personally to how it's received online, to see how every single, and that's my like my guess of Taylor Swift's life is everything that she does is calculated or whatever, right?
100%. Yeah.
I would think not making a comment about the White House using your music is also calculated.
Yep.
It's like, it is calculated that, hey, we can just let this thing pass. Like, who gives a shit? The White House used our music or whatever. It's people will quiet down, as opposed to if Taylor Swift says something, then what that could cause is it would cause that maniac to tweet something or shoot something back about her, and then she becomes a news story, and then MAGA comes out and they start saying blah 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 blah, and I'm sure they probably just went, you know what, it's not fucking worth it. Even if we
Yeah.
get something positive, even if we get to align ourselves with the woke crowd for saying that you shouldn't be using our music, what do we really gain at the end of the day, right? We don't really gain anything. These fuckers are going to be listening to her music regardless, right? So there is a bit of calculation in there. There's a bit of, hey, what's the path of least resistance for us? And then this one is just, hey, just let them fucking use it. Let's just not say anything. And then if somebody comes and makes a big deal out of it, then we'll respond back to it.
Then we'll say something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, guys. I think that guys, you have to remember, she likes her friends canceled. Okay. As she said in her album this year. Now, we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to make sure that we cover two topics. One is, you said, I would like to share a story about Kash Patel, and don't look it up. And I'm all ears.
It's a fun story.
Okay.
So Kash Patel, so you haven't heard anything about this, right? So
no, head of the FBI.
Head of the FBI. FBI is a mess, obviously. Have you seen that? Like, everybody, now they're throwing him under the bus. There's like this report that came out that said everybody at the FBI hates him. Everybody's paranoid because he has low self-esteem and he's paranoid. So everybody just hates him, right? But part of the story that came out was, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and he landed in Utah. Kash Patel wouldn't get off the plane until somebody found him an FBI SWAT jacket to walk out, because he didn't pack his own, right? He would not get off the plane, so it delayed the investigation because he wouldn't get off the plane, and they finally found one for him, and the only one that fit him was a women's medium. So they had to take. They had to take the jacket off of an actual FBI agent, a female FBI agent, and give it to Kash so he could walk out there with his press conference. And I thought
I love that. I love that. I think that we should embarrass men more publicly. I would love to hear more stories about how people are sick of Kash. I think it's great. You want to talk about humiliation ritual? Oof. That's the way. We should just be pranking men, I think.
Yeah.
I would love it if one day Kash Patel went into a press conference and all of the furniture was like really big and he started to worry that he's like shrinking. Like, is he getting shorter? Like, what's happening? And they're like, Kash, everything is normal size. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, no, I think they replaced it with large furniture. Like, no, that's what I want. I want somebody who does his dry cleaning to just take everything in a few inches and just see what's going on, like just fuck with people that way. That's amazing. And what a shit show.
Yeah. What a shit show.
I put on and then you also wanted to talk about trans women in sports.
Do we have time for that?
We do have time because I do think it's important to talk about it.
So you shared a clip with me earlier this week.
Yes.
That was a very good clip, and I think that you should share that.
I'm going to put it in the show notes.
I was like, speaking of connecting with the listeners, I almost shared a clip because you gave me a Patreon sign in.
I did,
which I have access to, but I have not used at all. And I logged into it because I think there's a group chat in there, and I was going to post a link. I was going to post a link.
You should have
2 weeks ago, but then I was like, I don't want people to think I'm real. I want them to think I'm an AI generated co-host for you. No, there was what's his name? Pablo Torre, who I've talked about many times in the past. Who, by the way, this is another story. But Jordan Hudson, she said that she said that she's suing Pablo, so that's fun.
Is it because he keeps making fun of her adult cheerleading competitions?
He's not making fun of her adult cheerleading competitions, but that story has taken a fun turn also at some point. I don't know if you've been following like the Bill Belichick stuff. But he's hated at UNC, and she's hated. It's all a big mess.
I did see pictures of her flexing at a gas station. There was like obvious like staged paparazzi pictures of her in her adult cheerleading costume or whatever, and she's like pumping her own gas. But like the way that she's standing, she's like flexing all of her abs. You're like, Jordan, you need to calm down. Okay. Anyway, so Pablo Torre, yes.
Oh, hold on. So Jordan was recently at like an adult what's it called? An adult cheerleading competition. It was like co-ed cheerleading competition. And 75-year-old Bill Belichick is just standing in the corner watching her compete.
It's amazing.
The man won 6 Super Bowls. It's amazing.
Yeah, the heart wants what it wants.
Oh no, it's not the heart.
Anyway,
no, Pablo Torre did an episode on Riley Gaines, and it is awesome. It is like a really, really great episode, because in it he doesn't get too far into the discussion of trans athletes in sports. Like he touches on it, but what he says about it is that it is obviously a complex issue. Like, right? It's a complex issue to discuss. And I agree with that. What he talked about instead was like kind of trying to figure out where Riley Gaines came from. And there's a lot of stuff that like, I know who Riley Gaines is just kind of from, I heard about her the first time when the Leah Thomas thing was happening originally, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that was a big story. And then right after it happened, Riley Gaines, it felt like maybe a month or two, she came out and she was like, oh, we were, I can't believe I had to compete with a biological man and blah, blah. And, just all that shit, right? And then the next thing you knew, she was just huge. She was on all the big podcasts or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Pablo Torre's episode went into kind of, going into how she got into that. And what you can see happens is that people identified her, like, conservative people identified her, and they very quickly decided that, oh, this is our mascot. She's the person that we're going to, and people should listen to that episode because it kind of goes to show you just how full of shit this conversation is.
Yeah.
And as a sports fan, I like how I pointed to myself. As a sports fan, I think that it's important for fellow sports fans to listen to it because I talk to sports fans all the time, right? Like all the guys or whatever that we talk to. And they're very quick to just go like bottom line of it. Like, oh, would you be okay with a biological man fighting UFC against a woman? Like a woman, isn't that unfair? Blah, 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 blah. And it is so interesting to see like how far that is actually from the actual stuff that's happening, right? Like if you look at the numbers, it's not like this epidemic that they keep talking about. And Riley Gaines, and one of the comments that she kept repeating once she started to get notoriety was she was talking about how they were subjected to sexual assault, essentially, for having to share a locker room with Leah Thomas. That, oh, we were exposed to this male who was showing us his genitals and basically just awful stuff, right? And it turns out that that's 100% not true. Leah Thomas was forced to be in that locker room. When
Yep.
she went to change, she kept a towel around herself. She was off in her own corner because she knew the attention that she was drawing, and she
Yep.
didn't want to draw any more attention or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Riley Gaines in her book talks about this coach of hers that was like her big coach, and he's the reason why she got to where she did and how she had to compete and how he got the best out of her, blah, blah, blah. That coach was reasonably accused of sexual assault and rape.
Well, that's how it is.
Like, actually, like, harassing and assaulting women.
Yep.
College age women, right? And like spying on them, him and an assistant, of actual like violent crimes against women, right? Meanwhile, all the focus that Riley Gaines and her bullshit party are doing, it, all the focus has just been on this one swimmer who, by the way, finished 5th, right?
Yeah.
Riley Gaines, the only reason why she's in the national spotlight is because Riley Gaines also finished 5th. They tied.
Yeah.
And so I just think that that's an important episode that people should go out there and they should listen to it. And I will share it. I'll share it in the Patreon link.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for doing that. That encourages people to go watch the Patreon or listen to it. Also, Patreon exclusive, Raheel made a joke that had to be cut from the episode.
I don't think it should have been cut. I'm going to repeat it at the end.
No, don't. Anyway, stop it. Anyway, the clip that I did share with you guys, I forgot the name of the people that were talking in it. I think there were 2 soccer players, right? And I loved the story. And I'll share it here, but essentially these 2 women, they were talking about, the debate of trans women in sports, right? Oh, is it fair? The fairness of it all, all that stuff. First of all, number one, like you said, one of the things you said was like this, like, they keep talking about it like it's this epidemic, right? Like, Trump is always, when he talks about all of his accomplishments, it's like my favorite thing. By the way, did you see he was falling asleep during a meeting today and sitting next to Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio was talking to him during the cabinet meeting, and this guy was just falling asleep because Donnie was up all night rage tweeting conspiracy theories or rage truthing. Okay. It was like 100 things overnight. The man did not get any sleep. Okay. But anyway, he always talks about his accomplishments, and it's always so funny to me because it's like, I ended 1 million wars, right? It's always like, I ended all these wars. I had all these tremendous wins. The economy is better than ever. All that stuff. NATO, America has respect in the world again, and all that stuff. And then he always says, and also the issue of keeping trans people out of keeping women safe in sports, and then also ending transgender for all, which always makes me laugh. What do you mean by that? Because I've not been informed that there is a transgender for all option available.
What does that even mean? Yeah,
I don't even know what it means. But I love this clip that I'll put in the show notes. But what they're talking about is like what it comes down to is like safety, right? They're talking, we need women to be safe. We need women to be safe. But the idea of the conservatives, in conservative belief, one of the ideas is that women can only be safe if they are protected by men. It is not women can be safe by themselves, right? It's a woman can only be safe if she has a husband.
You need a big, strong man. Hey, who's going to open up that jar of pickles, sweetheart?
Do you know that this is so stupid. My TikTok, like, because I don't ever really go on TikTok. My TikTok like algorithm, like my For You page or my explore page on TikTok, is methods of opening jars by yourself. Because I'll be damned, okay? If I'm going to let that man do anything for me, although he does, I think, let me tell you something, a little side note about my husband. He closes the jars very tight. And I think he does it on purpose. I think he does it on purpose. And I think he does it to make himself feel more important in the house. But anyway.
Well, can I just say one thing about Mike Roth as a man and as a person? I get, as you know, I get Lauganma hot chili oil. I get it probably once every 3 weeks because at this point I'm just eating it with a spoon.
Yeah.
And I've just accepted when I get Lauganma, I can't open the can. I can't open the can just by myself. Not a can, whatever. The jar by myself, right? As soon as I get it, I don't even try to open it. I get a little butter knife, I stick it on the sides, and I pop it because and then yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, why? I don't need to go through this facade for myself. I know I can't do it. I've accepted it. All right, anyways, go on.
Okay. Anyway, so the idea that conservatives, by the way, the butter knife trick is the way to go. It's the hack of all hacks. It's the only way to be. But the idea with conservatives is that women can only be safe if men are there to protect them because it's like the gender roles need to be, you know, a particular way. The man is the protector and provider and hunter and gatherer, and the woman is whatever. She's there. So this clip, they're talking about it and they're saying that when we start to say that we should be like checking, doing these like physical checks to see whether or not these are biological females, right?
Mm-hmm.
What that actually opens it up to is it opens up women to be searched and their bodies to be inspected by people who don't necessarily care about their safety. Now you're adding more people into the locker rooms to look at women's bodies. And you're saying that, oh, well, we're just concerned about whether or not there's a biological male in the locker room, which is going to be unsafe. But now you're adding these other components when we actually have on record history of coaches and doctors and trainers sexually assaulting women as children, girls as young as like 12 and 13, right? So so it's really not about safety. And the other thing is, if you really give a fuck about women's sports, you would give a shit by actually watching it. You don't even watch it. You don't even watch it.
That seems pointed. I do watch it.
No, you watch it.
I know. I we don't have time for this, but one of the things I wanted to talk to you about at some point was like the biggest story in sports right now overall is this college football coach named Lane Kiffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who left Ole Miss and now he's going to LSU and he's leaving his team in the middle of the season because he has a bigger, better opportunity with another college. College football is a dirty, disgusting, filthy sport, right?
As we know,
and
yes.
Coaches do this shit all the time. Up until like 4 years ago, players couldn't make any money, and now they can only make money from NIL deals, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, you know, it took them so long to even grant access to actual players, like, and these are men, to actually give, you know, for players to earn a living when they come from these, you know, in a lot of situations, they come from these poor backgrounds. And so they could actually use the money. Now they've opened it up to NIL and they're immediately complaining about it. They're immediately saying, oh, well, you know what? Now it's a mess because, and it's ultimately just because they can't control the players like they used to because they don't have like the financial thing. With Lane Kiffin moving to LSU, there's a whole conversation about like, oh, well, this isn't right. He's leaving the Ole Miss fans high and dry, blah, blah, blah. So there's like, there's a college football anger part of it, which is a stupid, like, you know, college football fans getting butthurt because a man left for another opportunity, which I think is stupid. I think he's within his rights to do it.
It feels to them like their dad left them.
Exactly. And that's, you know, that whatever. And so that's what ESPN is talking about. Like, well, is it right or wrong about loyalty, blah, 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 blah. The important thing to me is, you know, there's all this conversation about like women not getting paid. And the conversation is always about like, well, they don't generate the same revenue that the men do, so they don't deserve to get paid, right? One of the interesting things about the Lane Kiffin story is LSU fired a coach named Brian Kelly because he wasn't living up to whatever he was supposed to do, right? Brian Kelly is now fired, and over the weekend LSU found out that, or the ruling came out that he got fired for like no cause firing or whatever. So now Brian Kelly makes $53 million to not coach LSU. He's getting paid $53 million to not be part of college football, right? Now, everything, like, he's earning that $53 million legally. He is earning it by the letter of the law, right? He is earning it because the contract was set up the way that it was. And he's earning it because the money is there, right?
There's so many million.
I hate to say this, but what it made me think about was what you said to me, which is what it proves to me is that the system is what's fucking broken. Right?
Oh my God, real. Christmas came early this year.
There you go, 2025 growth. minus the one joke that got censored, which I don't think should have gotten censored.
No, the system is fucked. And I think that they're going back to the idea of like people who are agnostic, right? I think that there are people like, I love this term. I don't think that we should say that people that are agnostic like don't care, right? Like I know that there are plenty of women out there and men. There's people like we talk about this all the time about like certain Muslim men that benefit from the way that institutionalized Islam is set up because they've never had to be an outsider in a mosque. They've never had to worry about those things, right? So to them, they benefit from being the most cherished person to step into a mosque, which is a man, right? So I think in a similar way, when I think about people who don't use their voices to speak up or don't use their voices to break the system, even if they believe that the system is wrong, it's because they benefit from the system. It's because ultimately, I can think that that's wrong, but what can I do? I'm actually, a cog in this wheel. I'm actually benefiting from it. And it sucks, but I have bills to pay. And actually going back to the beginning, what we said, hey, 2025 sucks. I think it's because we know that the system is really bad, but shit is so expensive that we're like, I can't get out of the system. Somebody get me out of the system. I can't get out of the system.
Hey, I need to maybe get a new car. I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? But I think that we all play our part in upholding some institution that we are actually against because that institution benefits us, right? And I think that slowly the things that we can do is actually speak out and try to like see how we can make some change happen. But I think ultimately it's easier for people to continue to let things be status quo and let the system exist as it is, as long as the system leaves them little nuggets of good stuff. Oh, you need a new iPhone charger? You can get it overnight. You can get it in the next hour.
Yeah.
Just Amazon. Just stick it in your Amazon. Oh, fuck the environment. You need a little help with your emails? Just go into ChatGPT. It's gonna help you write those emails. Okay.
I'm so embarrassed. I use it
but that's what it is. We're all cogs in this fucking wheel, bro.
Listen, I want the new sauces. Sometimes fast food places have new sauces, and that's all I want. I want new sauces, and I'm happy.
I want new sauces. Oh my God. Anyway, that's it for this chat. I didn't talk about Housewives last week because you know what? I said gobble gobble, no new episode. I'm relaxing. And
you
so
should do an episode about Akash Singh just by yourself. I think you
okay. I really would love to talk about Akash Singh. I did write it down in my agenda today, but we just ran out of time. But Akash Singh, the co-host of the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz, is really like when we talk about men being embarrassed. He's getting the red pill boys are not happy with him because he has a wife who won't shut the fuck up. And they're pissed. And I can't wait to talk about it because that's two brown people. And I love to talk about a toxic brown couple.
Okay. I'd like to talk to you about that also.
Okay.
I did give you and your husband the skinny on it a week ago when was it a week ago?
Yeah.
10 days ago when we drove down. I think at that point, the reason why I want to talk to you about it is because obviously I exist in these awful toxic spaces. Like, and it's not because like I'm not a fan of Flagrant or anything like that. It's just because I like to Google butts, and if you Google butts enough, the algorithm does what it does. And it says, "Oh, you like butts? Here's some awful shit that you may like." So I don't know at what point I became aware of Akash Singh, but like I've known about him for a while or whatever, right? I saw this story kind of happening immediately when it happened, when the first time it happened, whatever. I think it's one of those things that has broken containment at this point. And so what I'd want to know when we talk about it, what I'd want to know from you is kind of like what version you're hearing and kind of understand how it broke containment and like what people are talking about it right now. Because I think, a part of this is like, well, Akash saying like you pander to an awful bunch of people, and you have to know that your fans of the fans of that podcast, and that podcast got more popular when you had Trump and all these awful people on, right? Like when it gets turned on you, like what the fuck did you expect? Like these are awful people that you're pandering to, and you should have known that the whole time. At the same time, like the level that it's gotten to, and I don't know if that's the level that you have seen, like after it's broke containment or whatever, the level that it's gotten to specifically with his fans is fucking crazy. Like they are being just terrible to him, and regardless of how I feel about him, like I'm not an Akash Singh fan or anything like that. I actually think that he's not very funny, and I think he's kind of Islamophobic, to be honest.
Oh, he is.
Oh yeah, and just terrible or whatever, right? And I'm not a fan of his wife. I have no reason to follow her or whatever. Even that, like even saying that, like what his fans are saying about him and his wife now is absolutely fucking awful, right? So that's what I want to talk to you about.
I can't wait to get into it. I have a lot of thoughts. What a teaser. I'll get all my notes together for next week. Unless, I don't know, something crazy happens.
Unless something crazy happens, and then whatever.
Unless something crazy happens and we gotta, spend the first 10 minutes of the episode talking about the fucking weather.
Oh, the weather, or what if there's new sauces?
I need a new sauce. I need the sauces.